It's just silly not to go this route. Although there are pros and cons, it's mostly pros. I'll give you a little secret. It's mostly pros, but we will talk about the pros and cons. Compared to the traditional rooftop cargo box that they sell a ton of these, right? And so, well, let's just talk about the elephant in the room here is the aerodynamics, right? This is you don't have to be an aerodynamicist to figure this out. That basically, they try to make these things as aerodynamic as possible, right? I mean, look at this shape. They say, it's going to cut right through the wind, right? But the thing is that they don't tell you and that they don't point out is that it doesn't matter how aerodynamic they make this thing. I mean, they can make it as slim, slender. It doesn't matter. If you're putting this thing on top of your car, you're increasing the frontal area, right? So when we're talking about aerodynamic drag, it's not just the shape or the coefficient of the shape that's moving through the air. It's the size of it, right? So, they don't have any good pictures here, so we're actually just going to draw this out real quick. Basically, they don't show the front is what I'm talking about. And here's the front of the car. Here's the windshield, side mirrors, tires, headlights, right? So this is the front part of the car. This is the actual part that's going through the air, right? I mean, assuming you're driving it straight ahead, which you should be, that's the front of the car right there. So if you add on this cargo box on top, you're just adding this shape, this size to it, right? And so what's interesting is that, actually this Arcos box might actually do the opposite. I mean, this thing, you might actually get more range. It might actually improve your miles per gallon because of it being on the back. So basically, just to kind of talk about the rear aerodynamics here real quick, you don't want to have like a large, blunt rear end. A lot of people think it's just the front end. You need to make that aerodynamic. But actually, you need to make the rear end aerodynamic as well. Actually, it's more important. This is why, just take a look at any kind of fish or shark, right? There's no blunt rear end on those things. So, with cars, I guess, it's just better because you got the trunk there, right? You got the trunk, and then you got to be able to park the thing too, right? So you can't have the tail end too long. The closest I've seen to this was actually that GM EV1, that first electric car. Came very close to having, a very pointy rear end. So, but yeah, it's not the most practical thing, and a lot of people, they don't like it either, right? So, but the thing is, for aerodynamic efficiency, you want the air to come back to a point, like you want it to basically be undisturbed, right? You drive the car through the air and then return the air back to how it was. If you have, like, even on this Tesla Model Y here, just pretty aerodynamic, but it's not, you're still going to have a lot of vortices, a lot of a wake area right here where the air is just kind of, it's just going crazy. It's just doing whatever. And guess what? That's coming out of your battery. That's coming out of your battery pack. All that energy to have the air going all like that. So with this Arcos box, I would almost think, yeah, they don't have a side view. Again, if I had better pictures here, I'd draw this out better for you. But guess what? This is what we have. So, but the thing is, and again, even on like more of an SUV, a true SUV shape, right? Not so much of that kind of hatchback style that the Model Y has. It's the same thing. I mean, it might be less important. I don't know. It's going to fill that wake area a little bit. And the thing is, it's just not going to make it worse, right? This is what we're talking about here. Oh yeah, you need to buy this too, right? So you're going to have to spend a lot more money on this system, and your car has to have a hitch receiver, right? So that's a con, but like I said, it's just going to be better really because you're not going to be spending more to get where you're going, right? And then you don't got to try to like put this thing up on your car, right? I mean, maybe if you got like this Passat wagon or is this a Jetta? I don't know. It sits pretty low to the ground, right? If you got anything that sits up a little bit higher, it's going to be more difficult. I'm trying to find the right picture here. Like this. You know, it's going to be, the higher your vehicle sits, the more difficult a box like that's going to be as well, right? And just accessing it as well is, you know, this is super nice. It's right there. Now, the thing is it secure? It does have a lock on it, right? It has a lock, but I would think, yeah, maybe if you're really concerned about security, probably just less people would mess with it if it's up on your roof. So that's, you know, that's a con to this, you know, this Arcos box. And it's a con that you need to spend so much money, right? It's the box plus this, well, they say this is a platform for it, right? And it's a specific platform too. So I don't know. Can you use it with other Thule stuff? I don't know. But the thing is, I would just say is, at the end of the day, oh, that's actually a pretty nice picture. How come I didn't see this earlier? So there it is. I mean, you can just, you know, we can visualize the airflow, right? It's coming like this, and it's going right back like that, right? Whereas the airflow on something like, I don't know, it's not, it's not good, right? Look at this. Look at that. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. You're going to be stopping every 2 hours to charge that thing, right? So I don't know. Is that even a recharge? That might just be the ice version. I don't know. Oh yeah, one last little detail here. We do get some reflectors built in, you know. So make sure it doesn't block any of your brake lights, right? Like I think it shouldn't be an issue on most cars, but there are some. I think a lot of like Hyundais and Kias, or even that Chevy Bolt. I think that the newer Chevy Bolts have some lights, brake lights, turn signals, something in the bumper, which is a horrible design. Horrible. You know, everybody's eye is looking up at where the lights are, the brake lights are normally. And some of those cars, they do have lights up there, right? So you're looking up there, and then all of a sudden the turn signal's coming on like down, way down there. You don't see it. You don't see it. So horrible design. And then, of course, you basically wouldn't be able to use a basket like, or a box like this, right? Because it's just going to block those lights. Maybe you like this look. I don't know. Let me know in the comments, you know, what you guys prefer. So let's just wrap the video up, though. It's getting kind of